Neil, here we are once again, the finish line of Unbound Gravel. How are you doing tonight?
Matt, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. We've got less than about 2 minutes, I want to say. Less than 2 minutes until we are in the Breakfast Club, folks that are finishing after midnight till 3 a.m. And I'm excited to get to talk to those folks again this year.
And what a magical day at Unbound it has been, really a week leading up to this point, and the last 3 hours of it we're going to bring to you interviews as we can, but really we've got to talk you through the week. You know, it was a wet start to the week here in Emporia, Kansas.
Was it? I didn't notice that, Matt.
Did you see on the forum everybody talked about mud all week?
Yeah, I heard people talking about mud, but let me tell you, from everything I've heard, I don't think there was a whole lot of mud out there on course, Matt.
Bikes are coming back pretty clean. Some of the front people are a little splattery, kind of mud coming in, but bikes are pretty clean. I haven't seen any real carnage, so mud was a non-factor, probably more so for the XL route last night. And speaking of XL, what do you have to say about that? You know, you've got a lot of experience just training for the XL and being around it, but what do you think of that effort that went out?
I can't believe that Rob Britton finished in, 17 hours and 49 minutes? That's unreal. 350 miles that fast. The fact that we're sitting down here getting ready to watch the 50-milers start, and they have to all get pushed way back so that they can finish the XL. Like last year, when I rode the 25 with my son, we saw the XL riders about 12, 13 miles outside of town on the way to Americus. The fact that these folks were done before 25s, before 50s started, absolutely unreal.
You know, I was talking to a Lifetime staffer earlier this evening before, and literally they woke up, and I'm sure they woke up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock this morning to get ready here at the start line, and they all pulled up the dot following and went, oh my, we're going to have a finisher in the middle of the rollouts on Saturday's activation, so just crazy there. Side note, in the press release I got from them, both the XL and the 200-mile distances, we broke 4 records in each of the categories. So I remember standing here last year on this night going, the weather couldn't be more perfect, and the weather might not have been more perfect than last year, but equally as good and equally as fast out there.
Yeah, you know, I think especially for the front of the pack. Obviously, those folks, I think the conditions were perfect because they're quick, they're fast, they got back here in, less than 9 hours this year for the leading men and right over 10 for the women. But for the folks that are going to be coming in that we're going to be talking to, they suffered in the heat. I talked to a friend here actually just moments ago. She finished at about 11:30, and she said, I needed that heat to disappear. She's like, when the heat disappeared, everything changed. She's like, but as soon from about 11 o'clock in the morning until that sunset, she's like, I suffered out there in that heat.
And I think it's worth pointing out here at 5:30 this morning, I was in jeans and a hoodie. It was chilly out here. Then it got hot. I checked the weather office data before we came out here. High at 87, gusting 28 to 30 mile an hour out there on course about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So the heat kicked up and people learned what the Kansas humidity can do.
I talked to a lot of folks as I was out at the expo tailwind. I said, the thing that you need to worry about more, not the mud, you need to worry about hydration and taking care of yourself leading up to the race, because everything was looking like this was going to be a day that was going to get up into the upper 80s and the humidity will be high because we've had all of that rain that did cause a lot of worry and panic for everybody. And I'm telling you, that played a factor, I think, on a lot of folks' days, and I think we're going to probably hear about it, some of that as we draw close here to midnight.
Absolutely. We've rambled along here at the beginning long enough, and it's officially after midnight here. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, understand it's also on all of our podcast platforms and audio. And as you're watching this tonight, there's not going to be a whole lot of visuals. This is a podcast-style interview with riders as they finish, so don't feel bad if you're driving home, traveling home from the event, you pull up the audio podcast, or you're watching on YouTube. We just thank you for following along with us. Let's talk to some riders.
Let's do this.
Matt here, and I'm with Tyler. Tyler from Vermont. You just finished the 200. It is just a few minutes after midnight. What was it like out there today?
Hot. It was hot. I was not prepared for the heat. Vermont's been 40 degrees and raining for the past couple of weeks. The heat, I underestimated the heat.
Tyler, is this your first time to Kansas?
It is.
Okay. What was that experience like rolling out there kind of in the openness?
It was great. It was beautiful. It was like a sea of green. Not something I'm used to at all. Vermont's all trees, not big open fields.
Walk me through the day, that energy at 6:30 in the morning out here, the big group rolling out. Kind of take me through your day, how it kind of heated up and then cooled off and rolling into the dark tonight.
Yeah, no, the start was awesome because there were so many people. You could just cruise in big packs. Then it got hot and it stayed hot. But once the sun set, I came back alive because the heat was killing me.
Well, congratulations on your finish, Tyler.
Thank you.
All right, it's Neil here, and I'm with Murray and Jim. Guys, you come in, it's 12:13 right now. You just finished a few moments ago. Murray, why don't you tell me a little bit about the day out there that you had?
Let's see. It was a fast course, even though we only got in at 12 something. So.
Trying so hard to get in at midnight, but we just couldn't keep the pace.
So Jim, tell me a little bit about the highlight for the day. What was the highlight for you being out there?
It was spectacular. The morning was beautiful. The weather was amazing. The views were great. Super fast course. No mud, which is amazing. And then, once it cooled off, it was great. It was a little hot there for a bit, but not bad.
Where are you all from, by the way?
Salt Lake City.
Yep, Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City as well? Okay, so is this your guys' first time here out to Kansas?
It's our third time to do Unbound.
Okay.
We did it 2 years ago, went Follow the Mud. We didn't quite finish that time. And then last year we did it and finished and had a great time. Yeah, and we wanted to come back and do it again.
Awesome. So if you had to look at the day, what was probably one of the hardest parts of the day for you out there on the gravel? Jim, I'll ask you first.
I think the speed. He went down a couple times, and where the road was really rutted, and when we were with sort of other people, it was just a little bit hard. So, you going down.
Yeah, I would say the whole thing between the first and second rest stop was tough. Yeah, it was just tough.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
so.
right, the 80 to 100 mile seemed like it just took forever.
But hey, it's supposed to be tough, right? But you guys got it done. Congratulations, both Murray and Jim.
Nice.
Way to go, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Way to get it done.
So, Tiger, congratulations on finishing the 200 race. What was it like out there for you?
It was wild from 60 to 100. It was hot, it was hilly, and it was a headwind. After that, got better. This is my first one, so crazy.
Okay, so where are you coming from to get here to Kansas?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Awesome, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Walk me through your day. You know, we roll out kind of in the dark this morning, and, you know, the pace is probably pretty quick. What was it like out there?
Yeah, it really was. You get into the 16-hour group, and I looked down after about 20 miles, and I was set to finish in 12 hours. So we got hustling.
How does riding here in the Flint Hills compare to riding back home?
Oh, we're all about rocks and roots and stuff like that. Road riding, there's not a ton of gravel around Chattanooga, unfortunately, but the mountain biking is pretty killer.
What would you tell to someone that may be online thinking about coming in the future?
Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. I mean, you can be in the Tour de France of gravel. You, a regular human being, you should do that.
Well, congratulations on your finish today.
Hey, thanks very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
All right, Matt, I am here with Michael, who just finished the 200 miles on his recumbent bike here. Man, tell me about the day out there, dude.
Oh, man, it was a long day from start to end. You know, I started out strong, maybe a little bit too strong. But, yeah, I felt really good the first 3-4 hours, and then, it got hot, and I really slowed down a bit. And then, slowed my pace down. And then later in the day, I felt like I was starting to bonk a little bit. So I had to really dial it back.
Okay, so Michael, where are you coming from to do Unbound here this year?
Salt Lake City.
Talked to a couple folks from Salt Lake City already. Awesome, cool. So tell me, is this your first time out here in Kansas for this?
So I came out here last year.
Okay.
To do the 100, and I didn't even make it halfway.
All right, so you didn't even make it halfway and you decided, you know what, I'm going to come back this year and I'm going to do the 200, and you made it the full 200. All right, so the course was hot, everything was good, but let's talk about the rest of the week. What other parts of this week, your experience out here in Kansas, did you enjoy with this Unbound experience?
I just enjoyed being around the people, it's just kind of cool to be in the cycling community, and just kind of hear strategies and stuff like, hey, don't ride your bike through the peanut butter mud, just walk it through,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, congratulations on finishing the 200, man. Awesome achievements, and welcome to the Breakfast Club, man.
Yeah, man, thank you. I'm
Awesome.
stoked.
Yeah.
Here at the finish line with Janice. Janice, you just finished the 200. How does that feel?
Fantastic. It's like a long day.
So, Janice, where are you coming to Kansas from?
Duluth, Minnesota, Lake Superior.
Okay. Is this your first time coming to the event?
No, this is actually my 7th. I've finished 4 out of 7 now.
Okay.
I'm going for 5.
Okay, you're going for 5, so that's what keeps you coming back. Walk me through your day out there. What was it like today?
The hills is a little more technical, and it's nice they did put some signs up. And anytime you see a Jeep, you always know there's something technical nearby, because they kind of hang out where the tech area is. So.
Yeah. You know, it's a pretty big commitment to come all the way from Duluth down here, 7 different times. What makes it so special that you keep coming back for?
Oh, just the community, the volunteers, just this whole program. I mean, the community embraces it, and not all communities do.
Well, congratulations on your finish today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Joined here by Sean Cobalt. Congrats on your finish, Sean.
Thank you.
Sean, I understand this is kind of a milestone finish. How many 200 finishes is this for you now?
5.
How does it feel to be able to get your grail tomorrow morning?
Pretty badass.
What's it like to have so many people come explore on what we get to call our home roads?
Oh, it's awesome. Everyone out there on the course, when I tell them I'm from here, they'll stick with you and ask about it around the Emporia area, so it's pretty awesome.
Walk me through your day today. Obviously, you've been out on these roads. This is your 5th time finishing. What was today like, or what made today difficult for you?
Lack of training. And just the middle section where there's no shade, hot out there.
What was the heat and kind of weather like for you today?
Just humid. Yep.
And was it one of those deals where we talked about it in our pre-finish show here that we haven't had many hot days like this in Kansas yet?
No. It always happens on Unbound week.
Okay. Well, congratulations on finishing 5.
Thank you.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
It's Neil here. We are at 12:43, and I'm talking with who?
Stuart Stroley.
All right, Stuart. Well, hey, you just finished the 200. Tell me a little bit about the day out there for you.
Oh, man, it was brutal. I started cramping about mile 70. Maybe at 80 I had a crash, and then I started cramping, and it was just off and on cramps for the next 130 miles. So I wouldn't have made it without my friend Doug. He waited for me and pulled me through. It was remarkable, but it was a tough day. I thought I was going to quit more than probably 5 or 6 times, and he just kept saying, no, just get to the next hill, get to the next rest stop, see how you feel, and somehow we made it through. I still don't believe it.
So what do you think played the biggest factor in those cramps? I mean, we had the heat. Was it hydration? Was it other things?
I think that I struggled a little bit with my nutrition, I think, and it just my stomach was in knots pretty much all the second half of the day, and just pulling all the water out, and then my legs just cramped up, and I just couldn't eat, couldn't get calories in this, and then I was just bonking most of the day, and I couldn't just no water, and my legs just were just locking up all the time. So it was a super challenge. It was really, really hard, but it was just a wonderful experience and just an absolutely great race. So I really enjoyed coming out. It was my first time, so really, really happy to be here.
So you answered a couple of my questions there. What would you tell for anybody that's out there watching this that's thinking, hey, maybe should I come out here to Kansas next year and give this a try? What would you say to somebody that's thinking that right now?
Oh, I think if you like gravel cycling and endurance events, I mean, you can come out and do the 100 or the 50, 200, and it's just amazing the way the town embraces this, and really sort of everyone gets behind it, and the energy and just the enthusiasm is really tremendous. So it was totally worth it. This was I honestly applied thinking I would get turned down and I would build up a little bit of rejection status so I could maybe get in a couple of years, and when I got in, I was like, oh God, what did I get myself into? And but I was, it was an effort to get here, but I'm really happy I did.
So you're gonna put your name again next year to come back and get the second one?
I'd love to come back and have a better run at it. I got to check a few things, family, work, stuff like that. But I'll be back at some point for sure.
Awesome, Stuart. Well, hey, appreciate it, man, and congratulations on finishing that 200.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Eric, first off, congratulations on the XL finish. What's it like to be back in downtown Emporia?
That's awesome.
What was that adventure like?
Moments were great. There were some miserable moments. This is my first gravel race.
So this being your first gravel race, what makes you sign up for a 350-mile XL race to be your first one?
Well, I had a feeling I could do a 200. I had no idea if I could do a 360. I figured it would be slower.
What were the toughest moments out there for you?
Toughest moments. A little past mile 200. It was in the 80s. and there was a headwind going uphill for like 25 miles, and I was hating life.
What made you push through that moment?
People in front of me.
You know, what was it like just kind of getting to take in the Flint Hills from the seat of the bike out there?
You know, it was amazing. The scenery is incredible. And I have 2 little girls, and I had to keep track of the wildlife while I was out there. So I catalog of wildlife. The only thing that could have made it better is if we had had some moonlight, because the nighttime was a whole bunch of, I have no idea what I'm missing.
You know, congratulations on the finish, and best of luck in the future with them.
Great, thank you.
All right, we are here now with Cisco and Angel. Cisco, I'll ask you first. Tell me a little bit about the day out there for you.
It was amazing. It was so grateful to be here. So grateful for all the support. It's been an amazing day. It was challenging. It was dicey here and there, but you know, we put the training in together. We committed to finishing together, and it takes so much more than just myself. It takes the whole crew. It's amazing.
All right. Angel, what was a highlight for you out there on the course over these 202 miles?
Doing it with him.
Yeah, dude.
He's my best friend. He brought me back to life. And that person right there, Ileana, she's beyond amazing. Beyond amazing.
Okay, so where are you guys from?
We're from Orlando. We come from the Ironman world.
Okay.
And we were inspired by gravel, and so I literally got all my friends to buy gravel bikes to do this, and they asked me constantly, whose idea was this again? And I don't know. I'm already thinking about. We've already talked about doing it next year. So the fanfare and all the support has been great. I mean, we've never seen a better expo. Like I said, we've done several Ironman, and it's never been anything like this. So shout out to everyone at Emporia.
Okay, so first time here in Kansas, then I assume. Angel, tell me what you think about the Flint Hills. Being out there with the green and everything else, man. What do you think of the Flint Hills? It's a lot different than Florida, is it not?
I'm not gonna say that bad word, but like it was just hill after hill after hill, and I was like, mentally, it's like tough. Like it's like there's no break.
It was relentless.
No break.
Every time you thought that the downhill would lead to more downhill, it was just another uphill. It truly, where we're from, other than heat acclimation, it's really hard to be able to train for this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I know there's really no hills in Florida. I mean, I got a buddy out there, and he says there's nothing like this out there at all. So, if you had to tell somebody out there that's watching this right now that's saying, okay, maybe I'm coming from the Ironman world or I'm wanting to do this, what would you tell somebody that's thinking about doing this? Should they come out here and try to do this here in 2026?
For sure, 100%, but train hills.
It's honestly the toughest thing that we've ever done.
Yeah.
Doing Ironmans and everything. And what I would say is that you have to bring your mental game. You know, it's not easy. They definitely should do it. It'll change your life.
All right. Well, hey, Cisco and Angel, congratulations, guys. Way to get it done. Awesome. Good job.
Just a little past 1 a.m. here in the finish line chute. And who do we run into? Leland Danes. Longtime viewers of the show obviously remember Leland from the first couple seasons. How are you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm missing the Gravel Guru and those first couple seasons.
Can you believe we are in year 10?
No, I can't believe it.
That 10 years ago we sat in the studio and came up with this idea. But anyways, we're here tonight talking about this fancy vest you got on, Leland. You got inducted into the Gravel Cycling Hall of Fame this year. What does that mean to you?
It means a great deal. As I said Wednesday night during the banquet, the bicycle and this cycling community has given so much to me. All I've ever tried to do is give some of that back to everyone else. And if me being honored by being selected into the Hall of Fame is some indication that I was successful in that, then mission accomplished.
Yeah. And what an amazing class this year you guys had. You, of course, Ted King, Amanda Nauman, and John Hobbs. What does it mean to be in that group of people?
Well, I mean, I adore Amanda and Ted, but John was a special one for me. Personally, I feel he should have been in there year one, but I think he really showed everyone who he was with his speech and his storytelling, and I think people finally got to see through him and understand through seeing him up there what his contribution to the sport has been. I mean, it's hard. How are we ever going to know exactly where did this start and by whom? But this man was doing it in the 80s. He was finding gaps in the maps and doing gap rides in these Flint Hills, these very same roads that we have on our courses today and this weekend. And he was organizing formally events as early as 1989. And so I've been pushing for his inclusion in the Hall of Fame. Those are precisely the kinds of stories that we're trying to share. And I can't wait. Honestly, Matt, all I've thought about since Wednesday is all of the other nominations I want to make and all the stories I want to see shared in the coming years.
You know, kind of shifting gears a little bit with you, Leland, former promoter of this event and whatnot, what does it mean to see all these people finishing out here after midnight?
I love it. I mean, here I am back on the finish line again. I'll be here until 3 a.m. Giving Hall of Fame hugs now, though, instead of race director hugs. And it's bringing back a lot of old emotions. My feet hurt, of course. The knees are telling me it's been a long day. But it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. And you see these XL riders coming across, these 200 milers. Most of the 100 milers, I think, are done. But it's a reminder. It's a reminder to all of us about what we set out to accomplish in the first place and what it means to get to this finish line.
Mm-hmm. Well, Leland, thanks for taking a minute and chatting with us here tonight.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Matt.
All right, we are here with Jonathan. We are a little bit after 1 a.m. Jonathan, tell me about the day out there for the 200 miles.
Today pretty much sucked. So this was my 5th 200.
Well, congratulations,
yeah.
first of all, on the goblet.
Yeah, and I signed up for it, and then life happens, and so between kids and high school, didn't really get a whole lot of time to get, well, we'll say any training. So I haven't ridden my bike since August. I did a 40-mile ride last weekend, just locally on a road bike, and then came out here, did the chamois butter ride yesterday. That was the first time I touched a gravel bike. And Strava told me promptly after that 15-mile ride that ride was 110% of my capacity. So I knew I was in trouble for today. But having done it several times, I knew that I wasn't prepared, but the mental knowledge of knowing exactly how I'm not prepared, you know what you can kind of get through and fight through, and was able to stretch it a little longer than planned, but got across the finish line.
So I was going to say, did you lean on some of that past experience, having finished 4 of these before this, to know what you could do and couldn't do out there for the 200 miles?
Yeah, I mean, the heat was similar to the first time I came, which is it's a different kind of heat for me, but getting into the heat and then hitting some cramps just from lack of fitness. Probably was on the verge of cramps for about 130 miles, but just kind of had to just take it easy when you had it and then go when you've got the energy, and played that kind of game. And I mean, I told myself 15 times that, yep, I'm done. I'm just going to call it at the next whatever. And then when you get to the next whatever, you can convince yourself to go a little further and a little further. And eventually you just have to tell your mind to shut up. The body's doing okay. Let it do its thing and take your time. Like, checking the clock, knowing there's plenty of time left in the day. At worst case scenario, even if I average 10 miles an hour, I've still got it. So just take a minute and sit down when you need to. Take a little extra time at the stops, knowing the fitness isn't there, and just grind it out.
Dude, a whole lot of grit to get through that, especially with not really riding your bike a whole lot. So congratulations on getting it done, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
All right, we are here now with another 5-time finisher, Chris. Man, tell me about the day out there, dude. Congratulations on that 5th finish, man.
Thank you very much. It was a day. I had a pretty good first leg. Second leg I knew was going to be bad, the heat and stuff. But I got there before it got dark, and I just kind of pushed through. My computer kind of locked up at 185. So luckily I was with another guy, John, who took me all the way back. So.
All right, so obviously got hot out there today, but how does this compare to some of the past ones? I mean, again, this is number 5 for you, so how does this compare to some of the past 200-mile experiences you've had here?
This one was actually a little bit easier for me, just because I think the roads were just perfect. I never had roads that nice. Even with the rain, it was like, these are good. And some of the years, I've had hot years that I personally struggle with, and the mud obviously that's a whole different beast. But yeah, it's very excited. Finally get this done.
I was gonna say, I know you've been going for this for a few years now here, so congratulations, man, on getting this 5th one, getting it done, getting it out of the way. I know we've rode together in the past for some of the 200s, looking way back to some South courses. So Chris, congratulations, man. Way to get it finished.
Yeah, Thanks.
Yeah. Way to go, dude. We are here with another XL finisher. We're here with Charlotte. Charlotte, 360 freaking miles. Tell me about what it was like being out there for the last, 33 hours?
Yeah, it was pretty hard, I will say, especially with like the heat today, and last night was pretty cold too. So yeah, I guess like the temperature hit me a lot, but yeah, it was fun, and like it was so beautiful out there. So I feel very lucky to be here.
Awesome. Is this your first time here in Kansas?
Yeah, it's my first time. I'm from Quebec.
Okay.
So yeah, it's my first time in Unbound and my first time in Kansas, and I'm not disappointed about it at all.
So tell me about what were the tough parts out there doing 360 miles? What really made the day, really the 2 days for you tough out there on the roads?
I will say the first night for sure. I was pretty sleepy on my bike, so that was tough because like the roads were pretty tricky and we have like techie part on the first night. So yeah, we'll probably gonna say that, yeah, temperature and all, yeah.
So what did you do to keep yourself awake? I mean, staying awake through the night's hard enough, just sitting around, but how did you stay awake out there on the bike?
I listen to podcasts, and I mean, I talk to other cyclists on the road. I wasn't all by myself alone, so sometime when some guys passes me or me when I was passing someone, just like slow down and talk with them, yeah, was pretty cool. And I will say I take a Red Bull before the night, so maybe like the caffeine helped me a lot.
Okay, awesome. So what would you tell somebody that's out there that's watching? Should they come and maybe give the XL a try if they want to, or should they maybe think about some of the other things? What would you tell them if they're thinking about coming out here to Kansas for the first time?
I will say do the XL for sure. I say like I really enjoy like longer rides, so but I mean whatever the distance, it's so beautiful out there. For real, I was like shocked by the sunset, the sunrise, the day, like it was the grass and the cows, even the cows. It was really, really beautiful. So just like doing gravel here, it's amazing for sure, yeah.
Awesome, Charlotte. Well, thanks for talking with us and congratulations on finishing the XL. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations. Way to go. We are here now at 137. Holy cow, Philip, 137, man. What's going on? How was the day out there for 200 miles?
It was wonderful once the sun went down.
Okay, so why was it so bad before the sun went down? Tell me about those hours of the day.
It's a lot harder to regulate your hydration and eating while being cooked from the inside out with the sun's radiation. But yeah, it's just part of the game.
Just part of riding bikes. So you've done this. I mean, how many finishes do you have, first of all?
So this is my third.
Okay, so you got 3 finishes. I know 2015 was one of them.
Yep.
2016 with me, right, yep. That year, and then this one. Okay, so 2015 was a hard year.
Yep.
This year was hot. Which year was harder?
2015.
Okay, so still 2015 is the champ of hard. I mean, hot days, you can get through that, but the mud, the chaos was totally different. So what decided to bring you back to this? It's been a while, honestly, since I've seen you here in Emporia taking on the 200. What brought you back this year?
So my first...
Besides me.
My first 200 was in 2015. So I just decided to do a 10-year reunion with the 200 gravel and maybe come back next in 10 years.
So we'll see you in another 10 years, man. All right. Let's see. What other questions? How about riding? I know you were going to ride with some friends. Were you able to stick with any friends out there on the road today, or did you kind of just find your own little groove and do your thing?
So I was sticking with friends. Unfortunately, the heat got to them, and they had to hang back. So I found some other groups to hang out with, and gravel's completely different than 10 years ago. Everybody has all these fancy bikes, and they're flying super fast. So it was pretty easy to find someone that rode at my pace.
All right, well, dude, congratulations on finishing the 200. And it's good to get to see you back here in Emporia. Make sure you come back and don't make it 10 years, all right?
I will.
All right, at 1:52 in the morning, and we are with Kilara and Lynn. I'm going to talk to Kilara first.
Sure.
came out 16 years old, conquered the 200. Tell me about the day out there for you.
It was a good day, not too windy. It got really hard about mile 70 through 148, but after that, it was just about getting home. So.
And what got hard in those miles? What made it so difficult?
It was very technical, very large rocks. It seemed less like gravel at the moment. Very hilly, and just continuous hills, and it was a lot.
Okay, so Lynn, you got a lot of experience. This is what, your 6th finish of the 200? Yeah. All right, tell me about your experience out there on these miles.
My day was just about supporting Kilara, so I just wanted to be strong for her. But I had some low moments, and she had to pick up. I was like, "You're gonna have to lead now." I think I used my map for excuse. But yeah, she did really good, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm glad to help her do something that she had a big goal for, and we finished. I'm proud of her because she had to persevere. Because there for a minute she didn't want to finish, but she sucked it up and did it, so I'm really proud of her.
All right, so Kilara, you've knocked this one out. Are you going to try to get a goblet like Lynn has in there in the future?
I don't know what the future holds, but as of right now, I'm just glad to be done.
Honestly. Here it is a little after 2 a.m., but these guys have been finished for a while. They've just been hanging out and talking to folks and getting lots of hugs. Father and son duo, Shane and Jeremy. Shane, I want to ask you first, tell me about the day out there riding with your dad for these 202 miles.
Well, so it's always been kind of a dream just in the back of my mind because the Dirty Cans, I got him into gravel, and then he got me into gravel in 2022. And last year we were kind of talking, and we were just like, you know, if I got in, would you do it with me? And he said yes, banking that I wouldn't actually get in on the lottery, and I did, and he was like, damn it.
True story.
But we had some loss this year. We lost my stepmom, Peja, and she was super, super pumped for us to do this together, and she was ready for us to do this, and she was talking about it at my kid's birthday, like just planning it out and everything, and so we had to do it for her.
Jeremy, I'll ask you, I mean, Shane just mentioned it, obviously it's been a tough year for you, the family. What got you through the day, man? What got you through it?
My son. I was a little irritated with him at times, pushing, and he kept reminding me, when the cutoffs were, and it was irritating. But I'm super glad he pushed because I wouldn't have made it without him.
Say, what was the joy of getting to ride this? I mean, he mentioned you guys talked about doing this. I mean, I got to ride 25 miles with my son, and that was a joy. Riding 200, I can't even imagine. So tell me about the joy of just being able to share these 200 with him.
When we first started riding gravel, I was a way stronger rider than he was. He's become a very strong rider himself. So being selfless enough to hang with me the entire day and not get a fast finish was just amazing.
You say not getting a fast finish, but you told me just moments ago when we were over there, this is your fastest 200 finish so far.
Shockingly, yes. I have Shane to thank for that. The other finishes that I've had, I was pretty much just on my own all day, yo-yoing back and forth with different people, and so yeah, having him by my side, breaking the wind so I could draft off of him a lot, definitely helped. So.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, I'm glad to see you both finish. I know we've been cheering for you guys. I've been out there getting updates constantly. So proud of both of you guys for persevering through this, making it through it. Love you guys.
Love you too, man. Thank you.
Peja, this one was for you.
You know, Neil, what an inspiring night of stories we've heard out here tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Matt. A lot of folks that really went through some tough times and gritted it out, knock out 200 miles or 350 miles. Yeah. So absolutely inspiring stories.
Just a lot of the stories, like you said, the 350s or the XLs, I guess technically 360, 200 miles, 202, but there's so many great stories out there, so many finishers all day long that I really enjoy just coming out here and being able to give a platform for some of these finishers to share these experiences they had and celebrate their finishes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is the folks that sometimes don't get any of that. These are the folks that are coming in after midnight. Their name isn't getting called. The crowd isn't quite as big as it once was earlier in the day. And so I love being able to kind of just shine a light on these folks that went out there and gritted out these 200+ miles, or like you said with the XL, 316 miles. It's great to be able to see and to hear what they experienced and did out there.
With that said, I will say there has been people out here all night with us, though. There has been a good group of people out here cheering people on, the cowbells going. No matter when they had to shut the music and the party down at midnight, there have been people here. And it's just an exciting way to wrap up the end of Unbound 2025 here in downtown Emporia. So,
another great year, Matt. Again, I say it every year. This is becoming my favorite week of the year. Having everybody come in town, everything that's going on around the event, it's exciting to be a part of, and I'm glad that we have it here in our community.
Thanks for following along. Drop us a comment, like, subscribe, and let us know what you want to see us at next. Thanks.